Hi, everybody. This is the Baseball Hut, the amazing, spectacular, terrific, the great one, the people's champion, your host, the Hut. And of course, we are back here live in New York. There's a trade. The Mets have actually made a trade, folks. The Mets have traded J.D. Davis for Darren Ruff. Darren Ruff from the Giants. So that's interesting. First baseman, left-handed, left field, and pinch hitter. He's hit 216 this year. He's a 244 career hitter. Let's see. Let me see. I got my phone. This just popped up now. Thank you, Holly Green, for posting that. Made me look to see. 334 on base percentage overall in his career. 443 slugging percentage. He's having a down year, but he had a good year last year for a very good team. So, again, the Mets have made a trade. Now, this would I would think that this is their right-handed version. This is clearly an upgrade from J.D. Davis. Clearly an upgrade. He's got 11 home runs and 38 RBIs. So this just happened. This deal just popped up now. So I'll go through some of his numbers. He was with the Giants this year. So we're going to go through this. So Andy Martinez is reporting this too. That's where it's coming from. J.D. Davis for Ruff. So we got rid of J.D. Davis. Oh, my God. So glad. Let me change the title. Let me change the title of the video. So just so people can come in here. Please like this video if you haven't already, and subscribe to the Baseball Hut. And I should probably get one of my YouTube buddies on here, baby on here about to the Giants. And of course, we will be talking about the trading deadline to the end. I don't think the Mets are done. This is about improving the DH spot. So, because they need a lot of help. I mean, the DH was a disaster. Let me get on camera here. Yeah, the Mets were a disaster in terms of the DH situation. So now they've sort of changed that now, and Darren Ruff is now a New York Met. Now his numbers are much better for this year. He's got 11 home runs. 11 home runs. So let me get to a baseball reference here on the side. Of course, please like the video and, of course, subscribe. If you want to participate in the chat, just subscribe and we'll yuck it up. So I did a 5.5-hour live stream before, and I got kind of tired. But as soon as I came on, the trade happened. So the Mets have made a trade, another trade, and we're going to get into it. And let me just wait for this to pop up. New Hope Christian Ministries. Hello. Let me get into the chat because I'm a little behind right now because this trade just popped up. Hello, Holly Green, Stephen Bunting, Peter, Los Batty, Amigos de Fran, Jackson Furman, B. Chad 28, New Hope Christian Ministries, Roberto. What do you want, man? No pleasing people the last few days. Little crick in my neck. People like all ticked off. You know, what do you want from the Mets? This is a team that needed help with DH. They've improved. I'm sure he kills lefties. I'm sure he kills lefties. But just give me a second. I wasn't prepared. I was going to get my water. Hold on. Hang yourself. I mean, what were people expecting the Mets to do? Bring in Juan Soto? I mean, really? Robinson went to the Phillies? Oh, that's not good. Oh, Noah went to the Phillies. And David Robinson went to the Phillies. All right, this is from Steve Gelbs. Ruff has an 886 OPS versus lefties this year. And they'll put him with Vogelback. Don't worry about the Phillies. Phillies can't catch a cold. So the Phillies traded Ben Brown to the Cubs for David Robertson. Did not see the cut. Let me see. Check my list here now. Of course, everybody be okay. Calm down. The Phillies are how many games behind the Mets? 10 games behind the Mets. They're not catching the Mets. They may get into postseason, but they're not catching the Mets when it comes to the division. Of course, please like this video along the way. We'll get into DARIN RUF as we get to the trade deadline. The trade deadline is 2 hours and 12 minutes from now. Everything's going to be okay. The Mets have gotten here this far. They're not falling apart. Jesus Christ. Excuse my language. Now people want to start every position. Everybody. But it doesn't work like that when it comes right down to it. I'm going to pop up him. DARIN RUF's baseball reference. I want to see what he has done in postseason. So that's it. It's going to be all right. Everybody calm down. The Mets have done a lot of work here. They've done a good job. So meanwhile, please like this video and subscribe. Let me see if the Phillies were on my... No, they weren't. Didn't David Robertson pitch for the Phillies at one point? He's been around since he left the Yankees, by the way. But we'll get into DARIN RUF. Guy kills lefties, and that's what the Mets needed. Now we're going to see where Contreras gets traded to. All right. The last 2 years, DARIN RUF has an OPS as on base plus slugging. In 2021, it was 1,007. In 2022 is 886. For Vogelback, he's killed righties, especially this year. 788 last year 21 and 916 this year. So they really increased the production. So J.D. Davis is gone. He's gone. Skadoosh. Gone. So that means they've completely... Okay, there's actually more. There's actually more players involved here. Hold on a second. I don't know who some of these players are. All right. Going with Davis to the Giants. This is Pat Ragazzo of SI. The Mets are sending Thomas Sabuki and Seymour and Zwack. I don't know who they are. Going with Davis to the Giants. Tyler Mahle on the side has been traded to the Twins. So he's gone from the Reds to the Twins. Wow, we'll get some trades now, boys and girls. These guys, the guys they brought in basically improved the situation here with the Mets, with the DH. The DH was a black hole of black holes that you've never seen. Okay. A black hole in that lineup all year long. And I don't think anybody's complaining about Vogelback. I don't think there's any complaints about him at this rate. So Tyler Mahle, just on the side here, he's gone to the Twins. So this page is getting awfully filled up now with players getting moved around. But J.D. Davis has been traded. So now we just got to wait for Dom to get moved. We know Dom isn't on he's not playing. He's on the IL. So he's not on the IL. Either he's going to be kept in the minor leagues when he is done with his rehabilitation from his ankle, or he's going to be off the Mets. So we got about 2 hours, 2 hours and 8 minutes until we have a resolution to or at least to that part of the DH. So J.D. Davis is gone. He's out of here. He's out of here. One by one, the bad DHs are out of here. So he's a 244 career hitter. That's all right. I mean, the guy kills lefties. I want a guy that can kill lefties. This is not about the division, boys and girls. This is about... Hold on, I need a drink. This is about October. This is about October. It's not about now. It's not about the division. That's the Phillies. Don't worry about the Phillies. All right. The Phillies have done nothing to improve their defense, and they don't have Bryce Harper. So the last three, well, actually, he's had a pretty good. I mean, he did okay down in Philly when he was down in Philadelphia. Very good pinch hitter with the Phillies. He's basically a pinch hitter / DH. But he's been pretty good with the Giants over the last 3 years. Don't worry about the average. Look at the slugging and the OPS. OPS is pretty strong. Over the last 3 years, OPS is 814. The OPS plus is 123. So it means he's 23% better than the average major leaguer. Let me just check out his see if he has any numbers with the postseason. Last year, he hit a home run in postseason last year against the Dodgers. 1 for 11. Okay. I don't know the references with that, but I'm just sort of mentioning that. Probably was against the left. This guy kills lefties, and exactly what the Mets needed, exactly what the Mets got. I have no issue with this. Dom is still a Met because, first of all, he's not a Met. I am uptight that Robinson got traded to the Phillies, but the Phillies are going to have a very difficult time catching the Mets. Be honest with you. So they're going to have a tough time catching the Mets. It's about postseason. All right, here's the guys the Mets moved for Ruff. The Mets this is from Mets Mirage. The Mets have acquired DARIN RUF for J.D. Davis and 3 pitching prospects: Thomas Zabucki, Nick Zwack, and Carson Seymour. The last 2 were top 30 prospects, and Michael Mayer's 22 midseason rankings. I don't know much about the 2 of them, but we know Thomas Zabucki. So Thomas has pitched rather well in Syracuse, but he's been, quite frankly, just a horrendous minor league player. I'm a major league player. Horrendous pitcher. Horrendous. And J.D. Davis, let me tell you, they finally got rid of him. This was a guy, okay, that the first year he was here with the Mets. Are you kidding me, Matthew? I mean, I've never heard of these guys. These guys will barely get to the majors. Okay, there's no overpay for Ruff. They have to justify this trade because the Giants won 107 games last year, and they're kind of breaking up the team. All right. Don't worry about the long term. These trades these guys. There's not going to be Cy Young. Cy Young is not coming out of this trade. I can tell you that for sure. That I can tell you for certain. All right. What? There's negativity. Give this team a chance. Hello, Nelson Cruz. Nelson, where you going, Nelly? I would mention that Hosmer rejected that trade to the Nationals. They added Luke Voigt, so Luke Voigt is going to that trade with the Padres prospects. He's going to be the first baseman now with. Well, he's got like no team. Luke Voigt, he had no choice, so he's there. He's now there by himself. Luke Voigt with his shirt all open. I wonder if he'll be there tomorrow. Well, maybe he won't. He'll probably not be there tomorrow afternoon. But as you know, tonight the GOAT is going tonight. And as I'm watching the replay, because I'm going to go to SNY. Matthew Landau, I just disagree. I typically agree with your opinions, by the way. It's just weird how these other teams are paying less for better. But how do you know? Have you, Matthew, I know you've been here a while on the channel and a great subscriber. How do you know these prospects, these guys are any good? You don't know. You don't know that. And neither do I. You know. Cujo Haas says, what are the White Sox going to do? I don't know. Don't know. I mean, you have the Mets here. These are moves that are are little moves that can help you in October. All right, these are not moves for now, but they are for now because of one simple reason: they have improved the production of this DH spot. Okay, don't look at the volume. They did that for show out there in California. The Giants won 107 games and they're terrible. They're 500 team. They're below 500 right now, and they're letting people know that they're giving up. Don't worry about the. I'm surprised they traded 4 players for Ruff, but these prospects aren't going to be any. The Mets don't have a great farm system beyond the top guys. I mean, they have the middle to lower part of the the middle to lower part of the of in terms of just farm systems. I mean, you got to relax when it comes to the volume. You should be happy J.D. Davis is out of here. Ruff is a better hitter than J.D. Davis. I'm not worried. This is a small move. This is the kind of move you bring in, say, like a Sean Dunston. You know, don't. We've got 2 hours. This is so ridiculous. I've never seen a fan base like this. This is worse than last year, and the Mets are in great shape. The Mets are in great shape, guys. Don't worry about. No one's ever heard of these guys. I didn't hear about these 2 guys, and everybody's having a meltdown about Ruff. Okay, they've improved the DH spot immeasurably with these guys. Immeasurably. Dom Smith and J.D. Davis were horrendous here. Okay? And the Mets have improved. They improved. And if you notice, you same guys a couple weeks ago were complaining about Vogelback. The Mets have not lost a game since he's been here. Right? They have not lost anything. They've not lost a game since they brought in Vogelback. And a lot of comments when I did the video on Vogelback, you guys were all uptight and pissed off. Why is Cotton and Roberts on? I thought they were doing like an ML trade deadline thing on SN1. Why are they on right now? I mean, you guys want to hold on to J.D. Davis? Matthew Ruff is definitely what the Mets need. A guy who smashes lefties. Also getting rid of JD's a plus. He looked terrible. I mean, really, I agree, Matthew. He looked dreadful last night. He can't hit any good fastballs. Get him out of here. What are you holding on to him? Okay? These guys, maybe Sabuki will be something useful in the majors. But these other guys aren't. Look, the Mets have new ownership. That guy knows what he's doing. And they seem to be a lot smarter about what they're doing. They're not going to move their top 5 or 6 prospects they have. They weren't going to trade their top 6 prospects for Soto. They weren't going to get Soto. You got to move on about this. Your attitude sucks. And Sandy is going to be gone. So, Sandy has nothing to do with this. He's not the general manager. Again, why are you bringing up Sandy? I would mention Sandy brought in Yoenis Cespedes. I think you don't want to talk about that. By the way, nobody brings up Cespedes. And Uribe. And what? I mean, I'll bring this up. The Yankees traded Joey Gallo for a big prospect? How did that happen? Why did the Dodgers say Joey Gallo? Can somebody explain that to me? These prospects the Mets gave up. If Sabuki becomes a guy in the bullpen, God bless him. God bless him. But these other 2 guys, they're nothing. They're minor league players. I never heard of them before. And I'm not bothering to look them up. to satisfy anybody. They are not going to be in the majors. And if they are, it won't be for a while, and they're probably bouncing around for a while. Okay? I'm surprised they gave up, as many players for DARIN RUF. But DARIN RUF is a major improvement over JD Davis. Let's see what's going on here. As the Padres announced the trade, there's some trade board. And Luke Voigt went to the went in that trade. Yeah, I mean, I've never heard of these players that everybody's so upset about, and everyone's getting all exercise and uptight, get pains in their chest. I'm not getting pain in my chest. We got rid of J.D. Davis. I got tired of him, swinging and missing and flailing. Right, I'm on the MLB.com prospects list, which is on the Mets website. I don't see any of these players. The two players the Mets gave up, they're not on this list. Okay? So you're talking about a 30th or less prospect that they're talking about. The Mets refused to part with their top 5 prospects. They're not going to do that. All these other guys are probably, expendable. And the guys they gave up, I never heard of. Never heard of these guys. I mean, the volume, the amount of players, obviously, the amount of players that the Mets moved on. I mean, that's surprising. But look, this was a trade to get a guy that's going to kill left-handed pitching. Okay? That is what the Mets are trying to do. They're trying to do small moves to help them out. Okay? Again, the same guys in this chat that complained about Vogelback love the guy. After, how many games? 18 at-bats? 18 at-bats, low him. How many people like Vogelback in the chat? All right, this is Joel Sherman. With complimentary bats now obtained, Naquan, Vogelback, and Ruff, the Mets are concentrating on adding a reliever or relievers. And we still have Contreras out there still. So, see, here's one guy, Neo Matrix. He never wants to say anything because he's all ticked off about this trade. If Ruff hits a home run in the postseason, anybody going to remember you complaining today? No. Against some tough lefty? No, of course not. I know I'm not. I'm not getting uptight about it. They know what they're doing. Buck knows what he's doing. Well, here's the thing, fantasy sports. It made more sense, but what did you have to give up? This is not about the season. This is about October. Little moves like this can help the Mets win a World Series. Mention this. 85, the Mets won, it's a long time ago. They won 98 games. Didn't make postseason. And after the season, they brought in a couple of players. Tim Tuffle and Bobby Lojito. Bobby Lojito was not a winning pitcher when they brought him in. He was under 500. He won 18 games for the Mets. Timmy Tuffle was a everyday player. They made him a platoon player when they brought him in here. He had a lot of big hits. He actually had a good World Series in '86. He had a lot of big hits with the Mets for 5 years. A very good pinch hitter. Was sometimes playing every day at second. And while Backman wasn't playing well. I'm sure at the time, Mets fans were probably flipping out about these guys. I'm sure Bobby will eat. I guarantee you that. Looked at Bobby's numbers before he got here. It was not great. It was 500 with Boston or below that. So these little moves, and as you know, Bobby won big games in October. Tom, you think we overpaid for what? They didn't do that. Davis is terrible. Sabuki has been in the major leagues, and he's been terrible. And he's 2 minor leaguers. I've never heard of them. They're not even on the top 30 in terms of MLB.com. They didn't overpay anything. The value was there. From Dave Collins, do you think Wilson Contreras gets traded? If you think so, where do you think he gets traded to? Well, right now the Mets are focused in on relievers. So I don't know where he's going to move, where he's going to get traded to right now. The Mets are focused on getting some relievers in here. Obviously, they lost David Robinson. That's very upsetting to me. I really wanted him. Steve Perry. I see and approve of what the Mets are doing. It's the whole bullpen aspect that has us in a tizzy. The Robinson move is dominating our thoughts right now. Nobody's talking about that. They're all mad about Ruff. They're all mad about Ruff. There's no reason to. Okay, here's a little statistic. Here's a little statistic about J.D. Davis versus DARIN RUF. And what a difference. He's awesome against lefties. J.D. Davis in 2021 in his career, 775 OPS. DARIN RUF, 929 OPS. Against lefties, J.D. Davis OPS 660 this year. DARIN RUF's OPS against lefties, 886. That's not even a contest. What does the Giants fan feel in that situation? From Matthew and Andy, price on Wilson Contreras would have to come down a lot for Mets to get him before 6. Mets and Cubs talk have never really ignited. That's all right. You can't give up something really good for him. Now he's going to be here for 2 months. But the Mets are going to try to get themselves some relief help here now. If they do that, I think they'll be fine. All right, I'm back. Back for the moment. So if they don't get Contreras, so what? You want to give up somebody big for him? I don't think so. But we got an hour and 49 minutes. And maybe the Mets find another catcher. Maybe they bring in Sean Murphy. Uh-oh. I'm just happy they got rid of J.D. Davis. Next is Dom Smith. That's the guy I want out of here, really. So I was just checking a couple of things with these crazy notifications. Yeah, I mean, J.D. Davis couldn't hit lefties. He was terrible against good pitching. So Bookie couldn't get anybody out. These 2 pitchers that they gave up that are minor leaguers, I've never heard of. They're not in the top 30 in terms of MLB.com. They're not prospects, as far as I can tell. And if they're prospects, they're low-level prospects, if that. Or B or C level prospects. Guys that may contribute in AAA. Maybe. But otherwise, it's not worth getting upset about. Believe me. It's not worth getting upset about. Now we just got to see where Dom goes, because Dom's probably next. Which I would not. Maybe they trade him for pitching. Let me just see. Here on the side here. Mets held on too long to Dom Smith. They had him way too long. They should have traded him after 2020. They waited too damn long to move him. There's also what tell me if they made this move for Ruff that they're not getting Martinez. I would cross the Mets off on Martinez, and you can't bring him in here for some top 5 prospects. That's right. Ruff and F and Darren Ruff. That's right. If he wins a playoff game, he won't be saying that. The guy's got great numbers against lefties. Got great numbers against lefties. We'll see if now Hosmer got traded as well. Eric Hosmer got traded to the Red Sox. As an aside. Couple of guys to keep an eye on with the Mets, with the bullpen. The Tigers. Keep an eye on the Tigers. Michael Fulmer and Chafin. Keep an eye on that. Keep an eye on Hollis Rodon, not with the Mets, but just in general. All kinds of teams. The Yankees seem to be still looking around still scoping around for pitching. Keep an eye on Matt Moore. I haven't heard much from him. I mean, they got a right-handed bat that can hit lefties. J.D. Davis can hit anybody. Davis can hit anybody. Let's take a look at J.D. Davis. And he's minus a replacement player this year. He's one of the worst DHs in baseball, along with Dom Smith. So here's Davis. Just gotta wait for this to take itself. I'll look on the side here. And of course, please like this video if you haven't already. And subscribe. Yeah, so Davis, terrible numbers. His numbers are just dreadful. Dreadful. And everybody's upset about this. I don't get it. Everybody's complaining about J.D. Davis all season long. All season long. And they've improved the situation. All right. He's hit. This is J.D. Davis. He's minus 0.2 wins above replacement. Over his career, 1.3. He had a pretty good 2019, but beyond that, he's been just dreadful. Last year at 285. That's okay. He only hit. But he missed most of the season. This year, he's hit 4 home runs, 21 RBIs. 238 batting average, 324 OPS. On base percentage, and 359 slugging. And people in this chat are upset. C. Callaway, report was just made that Rays are likely to pick up Contreras. It doesn't surprise me. They do kind of trades like that. I wouldn't have done that. I'm glad his value was not very good, to be honest with you. Not for the Mets standpoint. All right. Let's see some more information on Darin Ruff. Since May 1st, 268 plate appearances, he has hit 286, 396 on base percentage, and a 529 slugging percentage. 924 OPS, 27 extra base hits, and 13 home runs. How many does J.D. Davis have? 4? Has 4 home runs the whole year? All right, from Mark Feinsand. Wilson Contreras and Ian Happ are both in the Cubs lineup for tonight's game. But now, anyway. They're getting rough. He's hit great. And they got him at a high. And obviously the Giants wanted to get rid of him. What more do you want? The Mets are getting the postseason. Yeah, the Cubs are asking for a lot. The Cubs are terrible. They've done a terrible job since they won the World Series. I mean, they really have done a terrible job since they won. They let that team. They made some moves that really hasn't helped them. You know, it's just a terrible situation there right now. Oh boy, it seems like the Brewers. I don't feel bad for a team. If there's one team I feel bad for, I mean players that I feel bad for is the Brewers, and it seems like the town is taking it very hard that Josh Hader got traded. That's a bad trade from Milwaukee. By the way, a terrible trade from Milwaukee. And see that Devin Williams is out of closer now. He's taking it very hard. Oh boy. You know, if you're and they're first place, by the way. First place. First place, and they're destroyed. Oh well. Yeah, so Darren Ruff is not. Darren Ruff is not at this point Todd Frazier. You want to see Todd Frazier back in the time, the third time around. Although he got a lot of big hits that first time around with the Mets in 2019. Budex Daniel. he was a strange dude, that Todd Frazier. But boy, he got a lot of big hits late in the game. Got a lot of big hits late, especially when the Mets were getting better. C. Callaway, bullpen main problem right now. Well, they're gonna fix that. I mean, yeah, they have to. They got 1 hour and 40 minutes now for the deadline. Also, I mentioned this at 7, probably 20. The biggest acquisition will be taking them out for the Mets. Biggest acquisition. So everyone upset. They're bringing a big pitcher in tonight. Big player tonight. Now, please like this video. Hold on, I need a drink. Let's see what the alert was for. This is just about Ian Happ and Contreras. You know, Ian Happ has another year in his contract. He didn't have to get moved, by the way. Let's go through a couple of accounts. See, I don't get worked up about too many prospects, especially if they're not big prospects. I try to keep things very, very even keeled. It seems like the Guardians could be pretty serious about picking up Wilson Contreras. They're another team that likes to smoke around. I could see them just going with what they have behind the plate. Yeah, I mean, losing Robertson's a big problem. That was the guy I wanted most of all. Although Kevin, so to me, that's the biggest issue is the bullpen now. They did a good job with these position players, but they need some bullpen help badly now. And Fulmer's not nearly as good as Robinson. That's for sure. And they need a lefty now. So Robinson would have gotten all these lefty hitters out. No problem. Who needs music when you got birds chirping? C. Callaway, you think we land a catcher? I think it's now less than 50-50. Unless the Cubs come down in their price, that's not happening. And you don't want the Brewers catcher. He stinks. His name was mentioned yesterday. He stinks. I won't touch him. It was either Vasquez or Contreras. You don't want anybody else. Or Murphy. Well, I think the Murphy would be actually more expensive to get than Contreras. Contreras shouldn't cost you a lot. I don't know why they're doubling down on it, on him. Doesn't make any sense to me. So, but we'll keep an eye on it here. Keep it where it is. But Davis is he's terrible. I mean, I'm glad they moved him out of here. So he's gone to the Giants. His numbers with the Mets overall: 37 home runs, 120 RBIs. He's got 1,200, 1,100 at bats in his career. And I kind of know what he is now. He's a 266 hitter. He's been terrible this year. His OPS plus was 96. Just dreadful. Just dreadful. And even though, his numbers are good player, I mean, the OPS and this, OPS plus was good, he didn't have a good year last year. Had, sort of, I guess, a bad wrist and just terrible. Well, McCann will be the backup here. I mean, once Alvarez is here, they'll have an interesting situation with the backup. I don't think they're stuck with McCann long term. He might be gone next year. If one team gives him a lot of money, some other team will give him a chance to play. That's for sure. The Mets will just have to eat some of that money. So, of course, please like this live stream. And, of course, subscribe to the Baseball Hut. I thank everybody for coming into the channel the last few days. Good. Past week's been amazing. That's right, Steve Perry. Don't stop believing, Steve Perry. Don't have to hear about hard hit rate ball rate anymore. No, don't have to hear that crap. We don't have to hear that nonsense anymore. If the guy's not getting a hit, that stuff doesn't matter. It doesn't matter at this rate. It doesn't matter at this rate. Let me get back up here. So we have JD Davis. He's gone. JD's 29. He's out of here. And he's bouncing around. I was just looking at his numbers a little bit. Houston. That's guy from Houston. And now he's on his 13. So, nice guy, but bye-bye. That's for sure. So tonight the Mets will be playing Nationals and basically a minor league lineup. Well, that's good to hear, Steve Perry. Don't stop believing. You want to get upset? Here's something to get upset. From Ken Rosenthal. Padres still out there acquiring Brandon Drury from the Reds. My arm. That's going to get you upset. And I'm sure you're going to get upset. You're all going to get upset if they send some prospects back in the return that you don't like. Astoria Paints. Dom has to go. Well, he might go into a trade with for a reliever. I can see him going for a reliever. Maybe they trade Dom for Andrew Chafin. That's a pretty good trade. I like to see that. All right, MLB Trade Rumors has this title. Let's add one of MLB's best lefty mashers and a trade with the Giants. So is that better than JD Davis? I would think so. I would think so. I'm not saying I like the trade. I don't like the trade. I'm just saying that they've improved with the DH spot, and they did. So that's really the difference. They made a deal for a guy that's better than JD Davis. JD Davis was a disaster, by the way. We've seen enough of him. Gilgamesh, mythic figure. What are we getting for letting JD go? JD did not let go. He was traded. And they traded him for DARIN RUF. I'll tell you, it's been a rough crowd today. I'll tell you. Very rough. As I put down the Padres for Brandon Drury, who's probably not so dreary now. He's going from a bad team to a good team. See, I didn't have them down on my list. And he wasn't really listed with the Mets. I had him down with the Mets, but he's on the list. I didn't have them. I mean, I put the Mets on the list, but really, to be honest with you, I didn't really see it happening because they let him go last year. I think he's a bit of a, I don't know, prickly guy. I'm not sure. Just my own feeling on it. Welcome you as the Mets get the really. Who pitched last night? Welcome user. Who pitched last night? Just curious. And who's pitching tonight? This is not 2 years ago, 3 years ago. It's had different ownership. The Mets got one of the best pitchers of all time on this staff, which they picked up in the offseason. And they have probably they have the best pitcher in baseball going tonight. By the way. There's no leftovers here. Victor Alamo, wondering whether he's a rental. He's a rental. That's fine. I have no idea no run at all for them. I don't know what you mean. Is that like English? Like we have a bit of a troll in the chat. Put him on a bit of a timeout, I think. He just wants to fight and argue and be stupid. I don't go for that here. I don't go for that here. Sorry. You get half a skidoosh. You're still in the neighborhood. But yeah, so the Mets don't get the leftovers. They brought in Javi Baez in last year. Come on. They brought in Martinez, who's a big time stone cold killer in the game. And again, Buddy X Daniel, who's playing first? The Padres are making all these moves. They're bringing all these stars, and they've not won anything in 3 years, 4 years. They've won nothing. Holy crap. They've won nothing over the years, nothing. And everybody's getting all excited in this chat. Don't worry about them. The Mets are doing a great job. Mets have done a great job this year. I'm very happy with the way the Mets have run things. Who would thought that Canyon would be this good? Canyon's terrific. And he's a role player. Now, Escobar, they didn't do a good job with him because I don't know. I think the pressure of the contract is probably getting to him. But I have confidence that he's going to have a strong finish and play well in postseason. Oh, it seems that Jeurys Familia, the former man, has been designated for assignment. Let me take a look at Jeurys out of my own curiosity. How poorly has he pitched this year? Pitched terrible. Yeah. I don't see him coming back to the Mets under any circumstances. Yeah, I mean, they had one of the best managers in baseball here. How is that a leftover? How is that a leftover piece? Can someone explain that to me? Uh, from Radar Room, Chafin to the Mets. What are the odds? Well, I'm not a betting man, so I can't give you the odds. Uh, I would say, hmm, 50-50. I would say 50-50. If you're not sure about, the odds on things, always go 50-50. You can't go wrong. What would I give? I don't know what they'd want. They're a poorly run team. They're a poorly run organization. Uh, Rico78 says Epler's got to go. Terrible, terrible deadline moves. All right. Sorry, Riku. Bye bye. You complained earlier before. We're not done yet. An hour and 26 minutes. To win the World Series, you're not going to be complaining about these guys. Didn't Epler bring in Scherzer? Didn't he bring in all these guys? Yes, he did. All these guys in the offseason? Yes. All right, here's Joel Sherman. Heard the Padres still trying to trade Will Myers and his money before the deadline. Interesting. Interesting. Yeah, who would I give it for Chafin? I don't know enough about. Uh, don't know enough about um, the Tigers situation in terms of their farm system. It's not a great. I mean, it's not a great organization right now. They are really run poorly. you know, they have an old, legendary player there, and Cabrera. They after he leaves, after his contract is up, um, he basically has to. But they have to basically strip the whole thing down. You know, bringing in Baez was a bad mistake for them. People should realize that Baez was going to go back to what he was before he came to the Mets. Absolutely, from what I've seen in terms of the team, they can't hit. They're a terrible hit, but I don't know how they are in terms of their farm system. Is it any good? That I don't know. So depend. I mean, if they're going to want some offensive play, you're going to get Vientos with him for a lefty reliever. I don't know if I would do that. You know, but keep an eye on the relievers. That's what the Mets are looking. Maybe they're not going to get Martinez. I don't think Martinez is going to get traded now. To be honest with you, I don't think he's getting moved now. Uh, yeah, so the Padres are trying to move Will Myers. You take a look and see how much money he has coming to him. I have my own curiosity for things. Please like this video if you haven't already, and subscribe. This is like Mets therapy. I'm like being like a therapist right now. Now, Will Myers is terrible. How are you going to move this money? Will Myers has, holy crap, he got some contract on him. Take a look at this money. Come out to him. Will Myers has this year, which is about $22.5 million left on his contract, and another $20 million for next year. And it's a team option. So it's basically just this year. So, uh, Yeah, I mean, absolutely D74. The Mets have time. Um, Epler has done a great job since coming here. Learned under Stick Michaels about the '90s Yankees. Billy's not done yet. Yep, absolutely. Wright says the Padres win the trade deadline. Who cares about who wins the trade deadline? Right. It doesn't matter. It's who wins the World Series. Abe Hansen Froman, you're a little behind. You got traded to the Padres. Abe, you're a little behind. You got traded just now to the Padres. Yeah. There's no need to panic. Absolutely, rare. He's not panicking. How is he panicking? There's no panic on the on the part of the New York Mets at all, from what I can tell. Interesting. Here's another thing from Robert Murray. The Seattle Mariners are acquiring catcher Kurt Casale from the San Francisco Giants from Michael Schriffler. Yeah, I would mention this. I don't get worked up about minor league, small major league deals. Small major league deals are not something they get crazy for. One way or the other. Gilgamesh. Do you expect any more last minute trades by the Mets front office? Yes. They always do that. They always wait till the last minute, the Mets. They did that last year. They did that in 2015. I expect a couple of trades before we go get ready for the game tonight. Yeah. I really do expect some trades tonight. More than one. They need relief help now. Uh, and still keep an eye on Contreras. You never know. The Cubs might get desperate, and I'm going to change my hat. They might get desperate and decide to sort of give in to the Mets. That's a possibility, by the way. Um, you know, see Callaway. People will always be mad no matter what Apple does. It's just how this world. Yeah, no matter what he is, everybody's going to be second guessing. Um, everybody's going to second guess every little thing a general manager does. You know, like like everybody got all upset about Holderman getting traded. He only pitched 15 games for the Mets. Okay, and everybody got all pissed off that they picked the Vogel back. No one had really seen him, and we've seen 24 plate appearances, and people just love the guy. It's sort of this swinging back and forth all the time. Like I'm doing now. But it just you gotta look at it in the overall picture. The big pieces on this team. One big piece is coming tonight, and that is DeGrom, and that's the most important thing. Kid 28. Why is Stroman not moving? Because he stinks. He's terrible. Nobody wants him. He's pitched terribly, and nobody wants that money. Who's going to want that money? Why would they want to do that? So I'm going to assume that the Giants are selling here. If Casella got moved, Ruff got moved. Jeffrey Tieper says, how about our old friend Aaron Loop? He's not my friend, but he's your friend. I don't think the Mets are picking him up. I'm a little suspicious about how he was in that clubhouse last year. Mets had a bad clubhouse last year, and he was in that clubhouse, and he has not pitched well this year. So I wouldn't bring him back. I don't think lightning strikes twice when it comes to these relievers sometimes. Now, I wonder where Martinez is going to go, JD Martinez. I'm going to assume that the Brewers, the Brewers are probably going to get him because the Mets aren't getting him. They're not going to meet that price that the Red Sox are looking at. I mean, that's not a trade the Mets should do. And he's done well against lefties this year, but won't do that. And seems to see where Wilson Contreras goes if the Mets don't pick him up. He really only has one team, really two teams, Tampa and the Guardians. A lot of talk about Noah Syndergaard tonight. A lot of rumors about Noah tonight and today. When it comes to the Toronto was mentioned, the Phillies, the Cardinals, the Braves, believe it or not. Let's see what's going on here. This is just about the Mariners. C. Callaway, why were there even rumors about Ohtani? There's no chance he's being traded this year. I don't know. It just sort of popped up. Radar room. Would the Mets call up Alvarez at catching in 2022? I don't think so. If they do, it would be in September. But he's not on the 40-man roster. So that's a major problem for the Mets, is that he's not on the 40-man. So that's something to keep in mind. I think Vientos will be here because he's on the 40-man roster. And when the rosters expand in September to 28, I think he'll probably get a call up. But I don't see Alvarez doing that. Jeffrey Tepper wants to know, where's Wilson Contreras going? Now, he's in the lineup tonight for the Cubs. And Ian Happ is playing tonight, too. They're both in the lineup. How about Sean Murphy? Sean Murphy's got 3 years. He's entering arbitration. So I don't know if they're going to move him. That might be a stretch if they move him. But they don't like spending money out there in Oakland. They don't have money to spend out there in Oakland. So I don't know what's going on out there. Dan Caselli wants to, is Contreras getting traded at all to anyone? I don't know. It seems like right now he's not getting traded because he's in the lineup. Let me see when the Cubs start playing tonight. The Cubs start 7:45. So that's in about 3 hours. But the trade deadline's an hour and 14 minutes. So in about an hour and 14 minutes, we'll have a pretty good idea where he's going. But in the meanwhile, thank you for spending your time with me. It's been a long couple of days here. I went 6.5 hours yesterday, live streaming 3 different times. I live streamed this morning for 5.5 hours. I've come back here now, an hour into this. We have another hour and a half or so to go. So, well, Vientos could be the DH next year going into the season. And Alvarez could make the team in spring training. Kid 28 is losing his mind. Could we trade for Cano? Why would you trade for him? He got a DFA'd again. He's now on he's off his third team this year. So in all likelihood, he's probably done. I know that's a joke. Kid 28. But that's it. Yes, I appreciate the kind words. After like the 5.5 hour marathon today, earlier, I was pretty quiet. Pretty tired and quiet. Afterwards, I just sort of relaxed, had a couple of drinks, had some water. And just stuff about Will Myers that the Padres are trying to trade. I don't know where they're going to trade him to. He's been pretty mediocre, to be honest with you, as a player. I will say I do expect something to happen within the next 72 minutes with the Mets. They already moved Martinez, Davis, thankfully. He's gone. They're going to bring in DARIN RUF in to be he's been a pinch hitter most of his career. So we'll see, what the next move is. Dom Smith should not be on this team. I don't expect him to be here uh, after 6 o'clock. If he is still with the Mets, he's not going to be in the majors. Probably what they'll do is because he's got options left in the minors. So let's see where he goes. Let's see if I can find it. Let's see. Let's look at Dom. I know everybody wants me to look at Dom Smith. Have him come up. Yes, the Padres have acquired Brandon Drury. Yes, the Soto deal's official. I guess Luke Voigt won that deal. I don't know. He's not playing tonight. Voigt. Maybe he'll play. He might not even play tomorrow, Voigt. But he got moved in that deal. They also got, Padres got Josh Bell. It's going to be tough. But then, being an all-star team doesn't make you a World Series team. That's no guarantee. That's no guarantee, to be honest with you. Kid 20, how the hell are the Padres getting all these players? They have a very good farm system. That's what it is, kid. I mean, that's why, they got a terrific farm system. They were talking about before how in Southern California they have such an access to Mexico that their influence stretches into Mexico and in Central and South America and the Caribbean, that they just bring in all these players. It's like with the Mets; they have very strong connections to the Dominicans because Omar years ago built that clinic down there. And you have a relationship with other countries if you're a team that it makes a big difference when it comes time to making these trades. But let me just go through a couple of names. Some of these smaller names that could be moved. Michael Fulmer could get moved. Keep an eye out on him with the Mets. Andrew Chafin with the Mets. Keep an eye on Gregory Soto. I don't think he's getting moved. A whole bunch of guys in the back here. Run through them. Now, please like this video and subscribe. I'd love to get to 2,300 subscribers before we end this live stream. I don't think that's going to happen. Keep an eye on David Bednar. He's with the Pirates. I don't think he's getting moved, but keep an eye on him. Daniel Bard got signed by the Rockies. I haven't heard anything, nothing, with the Rockies. Nothing. Rockies are a disaster. Like the Tigers are a disaster. Keep an eye on Matt Moore, although the Rangers they haven't really, made anything of any significance. That the Diamondbacks aren't moving Merrill Kelly. They would move Madison Bumgarner if they had any kind of a deal. They've talked about Christian Walker getting moved. I don't think he's getting moved. I wonder if Wilmer Flores is going to get moved tonight because obviously they're moving pieces off of that team. Gilgamesh says, did I hear you say the Mets were looking to move Escobar early in the stream? No, you didn't hear me say it. I didn't say that. No, I didn't say it. I just sort of mentioned how Epler brought in all these different players. Mark Feinstein, the trade of Eric Hosmer to the Red Sox is official. There's another trade that just came down. Matt Boyd goes to the Mariners. Ugh. Matt Boyd's terrible. He's terrible. Yeah, Matt Boyd's one of the most overrated lefties in baseball. He's been terrible in his career. He finally got traded. Got traded to the Mariners. I think we have to be sort of patient with Escobar. I think he's going to have some big hits later on in the season. He's had spots where he's been good. It's just that he's been very inconsistent. I think a lot of this, and he's been good right-handed. But he's got, what, 12 home runs? It wouldn't take him much to get to 20 with about 60-something games left. It wouldn't take him much, which would be fine. You know, they get a lot of production, at first base, by the way. And they are 20 games over 500. Don't forget that. All right, let me go through some names here. Matt Moore, Michael E. Taylor. I heard him with the Braves. I don't know if they're going to do that with Grossman. Rich Hill could be moving again. I think he's going anywhere. Maybe Michael Waka. I've heard Brad Keller from the Royals. Oh, no. Well, thank you. I appreciate it. Let me read you this. Ding, 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 ding. Thank you. I appreciate it. Do you think the Mets could pass, possibly be banking on Peterson, McGill, and the pen? That's why they are holding off unless they get an unbeatable deal for an arm or two. No, you can't. You can't bank on that. Peterson is not a reliever, and I'd be very careful with McGill. McGill. Let me sort of tell you this again about McGill. He obviously there was no season 2020 for the minor leaguers. Okay, and his professional experience is not very long. And he has pitched well at times, but he tends to, when he doesn't have like full health, he is a terrible pitcher. Some pitchers, they can pitch great, like DeGrom. He pitches great if he's hurt. But a guy like McGill, you can tell already when he's not pitching well, he's not healthy. And he's already had some problems here over the last 2 years about being able to stay on the field. So I can't imagine them wanting to have him pitch back-to-back days in a playoff situation, or even in September against the Braves or against the Phillies. I can't imagine doing that to him. And I don't think he would do well in that situation. Even in October, I just don't think he can hold up. I think it would be very unfair to do that to him. I just don't. I don't think he would do well. And Peterson, Peterson will be here. He's going to probably pitch on Saturday in one of the doubleheader games. He's going to pitch in the doubleheader. So I don't think that. I don't look at him as a bullpen piece either, in any way whatsoever. He's a starter. McGill, you got to watch him. McGill needs time to sort of develop. He's not completely developed yet. In my mind. Just check out a couple of things here aside. Just checking to see anything new. Holly Green, are the Mets trying to get? Are they closer to getting Contreras over the Rays? I don't think so. Right now, the Mets are not giving up anything of note. Not giving up any big prospects for Contreras. You can't do that. Not with Alvarez. If Alvarez wasn't here, they didn't have Alvarez. Say they just drafted Parada. Then I would say, you know what? You bite the bullet and you trade Vientos. I don't think the Mets do that. I just I don't see. I don't know what the Cubs are doing. They've done very little here this season, this trading deadline, and I'm not. It seems like they're trying to hold up the Mets and really all the other teams that need a catcher. And Murphy's, I don't think he's going anywhere. So, but they They've made a lot of small moves. We'll see how things go in the next hour and 2 minutes. Another hour and 2 minutes, and I will be finished. More ways than one. I mean, Contreras will help the Mets if he comes here, but he's not a great catcher, and it'd be difficult to see how he would handle this pitching staff. This pitching staff really loves Nito a lot, and Nito's been really good behind the plate. His offense can be terrible, but he's a good catcher, and the Mets have a good record with him. So the record is more important than anything else. To be honest with you. Let's see here. Eric Hosmer's going to the Red Sox for Jake Groom. I don't know who he is. Who the hell is Jake Groom? He'll probably come back to haunt us. But he's saying it. Give me a second. I gotta use the bathroom. So I'll be back in a second. Back in a minute. All right, I'm back. Sorry, I need that bathroom. I wasn't gonna make it until 6 o'clock. Garrett Mason, the Atlanta Braves done. The Braves are never done. They're never done, boys and girls. They're always doing something. They're always skulking around up to something. So they're always up to something. The Braves. So just got it. We got 58 minutes. 58 minutes to the deadline. Now, meanwhile, please like this video and subscribe to the Baseball Hut before I forget. Beat Chad 28. I'm back. Anything new with the Mets? Yes. They I'm not gonna say it. They're pretty crazy. They JD Davis. They made a trade for JD Davis. They traded him out of here. Garrett Mason. I'm a Braves fan. I think they need a solid outfielder, maybe Jock. We'll see because they already made the trade with DARIN RUF, and they traded their catcher Caselli to the Mariners. So so maybe the Giants might trade him somewhere. I guess he's a free agent after the year. So, hold on, I need a drink. Look. Yeah, so we got 57 minutes. Whole bunch of trades that happened. Whole bunch of trades happening. Hosmer, Soto, Trey Mancini, Bell, Drury, Tyler Malley, Luis Castillo, Joey Gallo, believe it or not, Frankie Montos, Tommy Pham, Andrew Benintendi, David Peralta, Tyler Nyquil, doesn't matter what you call him. Christian Vasquez. Who else? David Robson, unfortunately, let's didn't get him. Josh Hader, one of the biggest surprises at the trade deadline. Lou Trevino, Jose Quintana. That's pretty much it. And Reese McGuire and Jake Diekman. C. Callaway, I'm sorry to hear. You better get that checked. Anyone else's heartbeat going crazy, you better get that checked, man. I know I don't need my heartbeat checked. Not at the moment. It's okay. It's all right. Everything's okay. Everything's fantastic here today. Victor Vargas. Billy Epler get a D plus grade. Okay. Are we in school here? I don't think we're in school. Are you going to say that the Mets win the World Series? You're going to forget about it. I won't forget. Victor Vargas. Greg Lambert. Where did Homer go? Homer Simpson? Last I saw, he turned down the trade to the Nationals. He went to the Red Sox. Eric Hosmer went to the Red Sox. By the way. Okay, you think it's awful. You know, give it a chance. We so close-minded. You can't have an all-star at every position. It doesn't work like that. Look at how much work the Padres have done, and they're 12 games behind the Dodgers. Tatis, they gave Tatis Jr. that big contract, and the guy can't stay on the field. What do you have, like that motorcycle accident in the offseason? He hasn't played. So don't these small moves are not something to get upset about. Trust me, but they'll help them in October. It's not meant for now. It's meant for October. Big players are important. It's that rock, but it's these little players that always win these World Series, these championships. That's how it is. All right, this is a couple things from Robert Murray. There's over an hour before the trade deadline, but there's a chance that Contreras stays with the Cubs. It's possible they keep him for the rest of the year, try to re-sign him or extend a qualifying offer and recoup a draft pick if he signs elsewhere. From John Heyman, Mets don't see a likelihood for Contreras' deal at this point. Okay. You know. Mets don't have that many needs there, Victor. They have a bullpen need, and that's pretty much it right now. So why are you giving up all these prospects for middle relievers? You don't normally do that. You do that, you're going to get burned. Trust me. Let's see here. Yeah, the Ruff trade has not been confirmed yet. So obviously they're going through the physical situation. $52 minutes to go. Let's go through a couple of things here. Exactly. Exactly. They're 4 games up on the Braves. 4 games up on the Braves. 4 games up on the Braves. I mean, ridiculous. Need a little perspective. It's not last year. Far from last year. Okay, the Mets announced the trade. Uh, the Mets have acquired Darren Ruff in exchange for J.D. Davis, Thomas Sabuki, Carson Seymour, and minor leaguer Nick Zwack. Victor, the real test is next weekend. The Mets took 2 out of 3 last week from the Braves. By the way, did you forget about that? Of course you forgot about it. And the worst thing that could have happened is they put Juan Soto on the market. Yeah, I agree with you. Ross W. Hall. Yes, the Mets have announced the trade for Darren Ruff. I mean, they gave up a lot in terms of quantity, but I'm fine with it. The guy kills lefties. So, fine with that. Fine with that. How about you? Oh, I know people say they don't like it, but they need to make any like earth-shattering moves, and it doesn't look like Contreras is going anywhere. So Mets are going to have to deal with their catcher. Uh, from B Chat 28, since we traded for Ruff, is he headed on a flight over here? Well, no, he's going to go on vacation to Hawaii. He's going to go on vacation to Hawaii. Yes, he's going to be. I would assume he's probably going to come to New York. I don't think he's going to be able to get here by tomorrow. I know they're in California. I think they're in San Francisco, the Giants. So in all likelihood, he's probably going to be coming to New York. That's going to be a little shorthanded on the bench unless they call somebody up from Syracuse to take Davis' place on the roster for that. But again, keep an eye on Dom Smith, see where he goes because he's still out there. Yeah, I mean it's a traumatic thing. A lot of them go on vacation for a couple of days. They do have 3 days to report it to the team when they get traded. Yeah, that's what's going on here. That's going to come in really quick, very fast. Trevor Rosendahl got traded to the Brewers. I hadn't heard his name much. Uh, let's see. Gilgamesh wants to know who the Mets had their eye on. I'm seeing Michael Fulmer. That's the name I'm hearing, and Chafin. I don't mind talking about anything here. I'll go over it again. No problem. 4. Dom Smith plus for Contreras. No, that doesn't seem like that's happening. At least not the Contreras part. I wonder if they'd be interested in picking up Michael Givens there in Chicago for Dom. Yeah, it's going to get crazy here soon. I'm going to be reading. I'll probably be on until about probably 6:15, 6:20 to talk about this stuff. And it's going to get very chaotic here. It's not always chaotic here, but let's see. Yep, 45 minutes to go. We will be there. Uh, Trevor May will be with the Mets tomorrow. See if the Mets have other bullpen pieces going. Let's see. And the Brewers picked up Trevor Rosenthal. Where the hell is he pitching? I guess he's with the Giants, I guess. He's with the Giants, I guess. So the Giants traded him, too. But the Giants got awfully active all of a sudden. It's from Xander Bogaerts. He said he questions the direction of the Red Sox with the Vasquez move. Said there are pieces leaving the organization, but none coming in. Oh boy! And this is after they brought in Hosmer. That's not good. McBlam. What is the update on the Ruff deal? Well, the Mets traded J.D. Davis, who he had to leave. Thomas Sapuki was a minor leaguer which pitched poorly in the majors, terrible, and two lower level minor leaguer pitchers. Not anything of note. Nick Zwack and Carson Seymour. Zwack and Seymour. All right. No, 44 minutes to go. Yeah, 44 minutes to go to the deadline. I don't know about you. I'm pretty relaxed here. Again, please like this video and subscribe would be great. Hello, Ronnie Fund. How you doing? Ronnie got a little uptight because I ended the live stream and he was looking for me. I'm not always right, but I was right. Once the solo thing happened, it was a big domino that came down, and that was it. Let's take a look at Don Smith. Let's see. I hope he gets moved. Yeah, I don't want to have to talk about him. I don't want to have to do another video on him being with the Mets. If I got to do a video tomorrow about him, I'm not going to be a happy camper about him still being here. Okay, his career OPS. This is just his career, 0.2. He's barely affected one full win in his career. Terrible. Is he a free agent? Free agent after the 2024 season. I got two more years ahead. I'll pull my hair out if he's with the Mets for 2 more years. I really would. I'll pull my hair out if he's still here after tomorrow. You know? But here's Dom's numbers again. 46 home runs in his career, 179 RBIs, and 1,244 at-bats. 246 batting average, 308 on base percentage, 308, 424 slugging percentage. Just horrific, dreadful. He had 50 good games in 2020 and 89 good games in 2019. Just terrible. He's not hit a home run in over a year. He's not hit a home run in over a year. Tom Thompson, in the next few minutes, someone's going to land Contreras. Looks like they're not giving any ground and might not get anything if they keep this up. I'm hoping it will be the Mets. We'll see. Christian Breed just said, MLB Network is saying the Cubs may hold on to Contreras and give him the qualifying offer after the season. Yeah, they might as well. They're not going to get what they're asking for. That's a damn sure. They're not getting anybody of note. And the Mets shouldn't give up Vientos for him. That's for sure. Holly Green, we are not getting nobody. Billy is sleeping. Okay. They're not bringing in Soto. He got traded. There's nobody left. The one guy I wanted was Robertson. They lost out on him. I don't know what the Cubs were asking for. It seems like the Cubs are kind of being a little difficult to deal with from what I've heard, what I've read here. Let's see. I mean, acting like Contreras is Gary Carter or Mike Piazza. Now 40 minutes. Now 40 minutes to the deadline. So we are getting awfully close here, folks. Getting onto the precipice. Onto the precipice. On the precipice of being angry, indifferent, or happy. She always has to call me now. I was in the middle of doing something. I can't answer the phone right now. She'll call me 4 more times later on tonight. Just call me again. Beachhead 28 said, I wanted Robson and Josh Bell, but you know how that turned out. Well, they weren't going to get Josh Bell. They weren't going to get him because they were going to have to make a deal with the Nationals. The Nationals weren't going to do that. Robson, I don't know what happened there. That was a guy I really wanted the Mets to get, and they didn't get him. They went to the Phillies of all places. And Jeurys Familia's not coming back here with the Mets, by the way. Anyone who thinks that, they're being ridiculous. I mean, he's been DFA'd. I could text her back. Pain in the ass, I tell you. Victor, calm yourself down. Calm yourself down. Put you in a timeout. This is not the complaint department. This is the baseball hut. Well, it's great to see, Francesca telling people everything we already know. Thank you, Mike. They need another reliever. They need an arm in the bullpen. Oh, no kidding. Kidding, Mike. Oh, boy. All right. Here's a couple of things. Noah Syndergaard, this is from John Morrissey. Noah Syndergaard pursuit is down to 2 finalists. The Blue Jays and the Phillies. And here's something interesting from Joel Sherman. The Mets have been protective of their top prospects, but word is they have talked about Ronnie Mauricio and packages. Something to watch with 40 minutes left. We're now down to 37 minutes left. So on the Mauricio might get moved. I know they're not. He's not. I've heard different things about him. Okay, this is from MLB Executive Burner. I talked about him a couple of times. I don't know who he is, but he's an interesting account. Prospect teams keep asking about with the Mets and get a hard-known Calvin Ziegler. He's this guy they drafted last year. The Mets, I guess they mean the Mets, value Ziegler far more than Ronnie Mauricio. On their internal value sheet, he's right behind Alvarez, Beatty, Ramirez, and Vientos. Very close with Matt Allen and Dominic Hamill. So I wonder if Mauricio might get moved before we go home, before we watch the game tonight. That is a distinct possibility. Keep an eye out for that in the next few minutes. Yeah, hit the like button. Ding, ding, ding. Hit the like button, please. I'm not really paying attention to the likes right now. Robert Murray. The Seattle Mariners are acquiring Jake Lamb from the LA Dodgers for cash considerations. Okay. Yeah, I've heard a lot of good things about Calvin Ziegler. Let me take a look at him. Because he is sort of a prospect out there with the Mets. I know a lot of teams like him. No, there's no more. There's no more waiver deals. No more. They did away with that, unfortunately. So everything has to come in very soon. Calvin Ziegler. All right. Calvin Ziegler was drafted last year. He was a second round pick for the Mets. He's 19 years old. Mm, let's see where he's pitched this year. All right. He's pitched okay in Port St. Lucie. 35 innings, pitched 57 strikeouts. He's really struck out a lot of batters. Wow. High walk rate, 21 walks. Oof. That's got to change. 60 fastball, 50 curveball, overall 45. I don't know. Mauricio's higher on this. I'll tell you that Ramirez is really kicking ass in Brooklyn right now. Doing amazing things there in Brooklyn, hitting home runs like crazy there. Uh, doesn't seem like Pablo Lopez is going anywhere. Yeah, I mean, you're right. I mean, Cespedes was the last minute move. It was basically the last second. They brought him in. It was down to Jay Bruce, which got nixed because, I don't know, for whatever reason. I remember right. I forget. The Reds had cold feet on that trade. And then they pivoted to, and they didn't get Carlos Gomez. Ross Hall says, you would think Matt Allen could get us something good in return. Yeah, I would think so too. You know, but I don't know. I mean, it seems like the Mets value him very highly. They've spent a lot of money on him, so they're going to hold on to him for a very long time. You know, the uh, the previous general manager spent a lot of money to sign him out of high school. So he's a. I wouldn't have a problem giving him up, but maybe the organization as a whole, in terms of just as an investment, would not want to give him up. You know, you know. Matt Allen has never pitched in the major leagues. I'm a little confused there, Robert, with Ross, with your comment. Matt Allen has not pitched in the major leagues. He's barely pitched in the minor leagues. Um, so he's about 20 years old, 21 years old. He's not pitching the major. He's not come anywhere in the major leagues. See an update. Oh wow! This is very interesting. Should I tell you what the Mets are thinking about doing right now? You Met fans want to get excited? Do you want to get excited? Tell me. You want to get excited as Mets fans? It's a possibility. From Pat Ragazzo. Based off of numerous conversations I've had with the Mets people in recent weeks, I'm not going to mention the player. One possible pivot plan may be to call up, if they can't upgrade at the position before the 6 p.m. trade deadline, should Bleep not budge off their ask. Okay? You tell me who this bleep person is, and you tell me in the chat. You tell me who that player is that would get you excited to see him play for the Mets. We got 29 minutes. Let's see. Who can you tell me? Here we go. I think this would get everybody very excited. Wouldn't it? Zeke Callaway gets the non prize. Gets the no prize. The Mets are thinking about calling him up if they can't make a trade for Contreras. Wouldn't you be happy with that? You talk about an impact back. Impact back of a major order. If Vientos could get called up too, by the way, I mean, he is on the 40-man roster. Alvarez is not. Swagenberg, another cool name. What's the chicken guy? What's the chicken sandwich guy? Oh, that name. Now gotten out 28 minutes now. 28 minutes until the trade deadline. I mean, it would be interesting to see Vientos, but I think that really, I think Alvarez would get everybody excited. Yeah, but they need offense behind that plate, and the only guy that can really provide it, and they don't have to give up anything, is Alvarez. By the way, 27 minutes. Nah, they're still going to be crying. People are still going to be crying. Sorry. Swagenberger asks, the question is, Alvarez ready to catch right now? Right away. I don't know. He has caught Scherzer and Grom, but that's different in the pitching staff. If it was up to me, I'd like to see them call up Alvarez. But if he's not ready to take on the responsibility to be a catcher, then don't call him up. His bat's ready. I would think it was probably ready in spring training. It's all about him catching in that spot. And they should be traded. Let me tell you something. I in between, the live streams, I changed the water in the dish, and it's clean. I got two birds, blue one and the green one. The fucking blue and green one, he took a bath. So now the water's green now. He dived in that like 5 times. Got the floor all wet. That's why the water is always gone, because he's always taking a bath. The green one, they's always cleaning themselves. A pain in the ass. He makes a mess, you know. The second I put that water in, he jumps in it. 26 minutes and counting to the deadline. To the deadline. We'll see what other trades happen, because there are some players still out there. All right, this is from John Heyman. Yankees have been talking to the Marlins about Pablo Lopez. Would be process if it happens. I've mentioned this about the Yankees. Brian Cashman does not have a contract, so he's all in to sort of blowing up that farm system to win. He's desperate to win. You know. So. Right, Christian. Right. Let me put this on it. Let's see here. Now, of course, please like this video and the live stream and subscribe. Yeah, I had seen enough of Dom. Hopefully he's gone in the next few minutes. I don't think he's coming back, to be honest with you. Oh, likely he's going to be out of here. There was a taint Brett Phillips in the race for cash considerations. Whatever. $23 So that's 23 minutes. So we hit midnight. Well, not midnight, 6 o'clock. The Padres are crazy. They trade Hosmer. They trade 2 of their prospects to the Red Sox. That's crazy. Padres, they did trade their prospects like it's nothing. KT Rose says the Mets and Detroit are talking. Oh, they're probably going to try to get Chafin in here. Probably Chafin or Fulmer. Got 23 minutes. 22 minutes. 22. Ready to get upset. Ready to be pissed off. I'm not. That's for sure. Not upset at all. This is all great stuff. Let's see. Now, please like this live stream along the way. Well, the thing about the Padres, they have Soto for the next 2 years after this. So they have to get it done between now and then. If they don't, Soto's going to go. He's going to leave. You know, he will leave. There's no doubt in my mind he will leave. No matter where he was going to get traded to, he's going to leave. Yeah, 21 minutes. From Dan, if the Cubs even had an idea Contreras would be traded, he would not be in the lineup. Now he's not. Um, yeah, and Ian Happ's probably not going anywhere either because he's not. He's in the lineup too. So. Chances are pretty high. The chances are pretty high for everybody, really. They can announce these deals, after the deadline. They have to announce it to MLB before 6. That's why I'm going to stay on another 15 minutes after, and then relax. Relax for the rest of the night. I have it. Yeah, so please like this live stream and get a few more minutes here. A few more minutes. Oh my God, the Owlman. Why are the Mets picking up subpar players hitting under 200? Who is that? Who is that? Karaoke Buzz, are you satisfied with this team as it is down the stretch? I mean, obviously they need a couple more relievers. We're just gonna have to wait a couple minutes for it. 19 minutes now. If they do that, I'll be okay with it. Ruff is not hitting 200. By the way, I don't know where you're getting your statistics from. He's not hitting 200. And he's here to beat lefties. He's here to kill lefties. That's his role. Ruff is hitting 216 and he kills left-handed pitching. That's why you brought him in here. And he's got 11 home runs. That's why you brought him in here. Okay? Okay, so Andy Martino, Mets still looking for bullpen. Nothing done as of this exact second. So we're now at 5:42. 5:42. So sit here patiently as we wait and just hear the birds chirp. Listen to nature. Kid 20, you think Mets are done? No. They need bullpen help. And exactly, I know I am. Nobody seems to be excited in the chat, I can tell you that. 65 people, I think you may be the second person to mention it. I know I am. They were announced right at the deadline. I know Cespedes was. I think Baez was kind of a few minutes before. Had the stream going last year. Oh, really? Oh, man. Well, you're crazy. You give up a big part of your future for them? A guy with a bad back, you're crazy. You wouldn't have a job for long. See, Callaway, how much is Apple sweating right now? 1 to 20, probably 0. I think it's 0. Another 16 minutes. 16 minutes. 16 minutes, and we will find out who the Mets bring in here. And really, if there's any more trades, it's been very quiet in the last 10 minutes. Okay, what's this? The hell is this? Oh boy. Michael Fulmer got traded to the Twins. Well, that's not good. That's not good. So he's gone. Who's the next guy? I hope it's not C-Shot. Michael Fulmer. This is the second time Michael Fulmer's been traded up before the deadline. Second time in 7 years. But he's gone to the Tigers. Who's the next guy in line with the bullpen? Let's see here. I understand the Twins got like an F grade. When it came to getting Jorge Lopez. You're drunk, right? I think you're drinking. My goodness. Let's see what some relievers here. Keep it. Well, I don't think Kansas City's going to make any moves. They're very stubborn. We'll just have to hold on, folks. Well, hold on. I'm scared. No, I'm not scared. Keep it on Michael Givens. Maybe they pick him up. He's the next guy. Mets are 28 games over 500, and you get these kind of comments that I've highlighted. I don't know if the other fan bases will like this, but boy, the Met fans, some of you really need to get into therapy just in general. I will say this, that this trade that the Twins made for Jorge Lopez, it's going to be a disaster. It's going to be a disaster there. Nataly's one thing, but and Fulmer's another. JD Martinez is here. He's a player for one thing: driving in runs, and he's not doing a good job. Okay, this year. He's 35 years old with a bad back. All right. You don't give up a 21-year-old player for him. So that's okay. Get 13 minutes now. That's 13 minutes. People in the chat, do the countdowns. I don't have to do it. Exactly. Exactly right. We don't make a trade, you complain. They make a trade, you complain. They bring in the players, they play good for a couple of days, you low them. Victor, don't push me. The Mets are 28 games above 500. They're probably going to finish with the second best record in the history of this team. And you're acting like they're in last place. Okay? You need to relax. I think I'll put you in a relaxing mode. Thank you. Yes, it's time for Dom to go, by the way. We'll see if he goes. You know. We'll see if Dom goes. The Phillies are close to getting Noah Syndergaard. Let's see if he pitches against the Mets. That's from Ken Rosenthal. So that doesn't surprise me, to be honest with you. That's how it should be. He ducked the Mets early in the season. He's not gonna be able to duck the Mets this time around, and duck New York. Hold on, I need a drink. Quick. 11 minutes. Keep the countdown going. We have people going to count down to the last minute. That's your responsibility in the chat. Get told. Where are we now? We're at 11 minutes. We want the exact time, not almost a 10-minute mark. We want it down every minute. You know what I want to see? I want to see Vogelback hit a home run off the no. That'd be great. That'd be great to see that. And of course, like this live stream. And subscribe. Count down the minutes. That's what I asked the chat to do. Maybe at some point I'm going to have to get a ticker. Maybe for next year we'll have like the time somewhere down here so we can count down when we get to the end. That'd be cool to have. Karaoke Buzz, has Dom Smith been activated? No, he's got to do a rehab assignment for his ankle. That's what he has to do. All right. Negativity drives me crazy. 9 minutes. 9 minutes. Nobody's like Joey Gallo, ever. Joey Gallo's about as bad as it gets. Surprised he's been traded twice. First to the Yankees, which didn't make sense, and now to the Dodgers, doesn't even make sense either. By the way. If he goes there, if Syndergaard goes to Philadelphia, he goes there. Eight minutes. There we go. Let's see. You be quiet in there. Got the peanut gallery acting up here with the birds. Yes, the Phillies are going to get Noah Syndergaard. Yeah. 8 minutes. I'll put that up. That cracks me up. All right. The Phillies have. This is from Jason Stark. The Phillies have traded Mickey Moniak and a second prospect to the Angels for Noah Syndergaard. Okay. 7 minutes. Dun, dun, dun. Pew, pew, pew. Seven minutes. Yeah, Noah, who's been an average starter this year, he's going to turn into like he's going to turn into Tom Seaver now that the Phillies got him. 6 minutes. I mean, deals have to be made by 6 o'clock, but they don't have to announce it at 6 o'clock. Teams have now 6 minutes to get these deals in now. So there might have been some deals with the Mets. We'll see. Hopefully, if not, everybody's gonna be pretty pissed off. And some of the people that have put on timeout are gonna come back here and start screaming at him. Syndergaard's gonna get booed by Mets fans. He can't be ducking. He can't be ducking now. That's for damn sure. He can't be ducking the Mets going forward. Got SMY on. They got stupid Evan Roberts. He's having a meltdown. I don't know what he's saying, but he's just waving his arms, screaming. Oh, let's see. Let's see the Mets here. All right, the New York Mets are New York Yankees. I'm sorry. The Mets get Givens. They got Mychal Givens from the Cubs. Okay, he's been a pretty good pitcher. He's a pretty good pitcher. This is from Andy Martinez. So let's change this title. Now, please like this video. Hopefully, the Mets can do a couple more things here. They need a lefty. So I kind of figured that Gibbs was the next guy on the Mets list here. That's a good acquisition for the Mets. We'll see how he is. I got to look at his numbers when I get a chance. I wonder if this is a big deal with Contreras. So we'll find out in a minute, I guess. In a couple minutes here. The Yankees are getting Harrison Bader from Montgomery, Jordan Montgomery. Mets acquired Mychal Givens. Let's take a look at him on the side here. I feel like going through his stuff. I know he's had a good year. Okay. These are pretty good numbers. In 40 games, he's got an ERA of 2.66. He's a free agent after the season. He's pitched 40 games. He's pitched 40 and 2/3 innings, 51 strikeouts. He has given up 5 home runs. The walk rate is a little high. 4.2 walks per 9 innings. That's a little high. He is 32 years old. So we'll see what the Mets gave up for him. And they need a lefty now. So the Mets have improved the bullpen a little bit. And he's pitched well this year. That's good. So, 2 minutes. Ding, 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 ding. The bell tolls for 2 minutes. 2 minutes. I give it to Stephen Bunting. 2 minutes. When it gets to 1 minute, the first person I see that puts 1 minute, I'll highlight it on the screen. 2 minutes. See if they get a lefty here. All right. Let's see. Pablo Lopez is not being traded by the Marlins. Okay. Andy Martinez is now posting a Mets trying for one more reliever. We need one more pin, Rodney. Mychal Givens is equal to the former. One man, D74. Oh, karaoke. He had it. Sorry. Karaoke Buzz. Down to the final minute. 1 minute to go. Now, obviously, trades can be announced after. And now the trades have to be told from Major League Baseball. So, So Mets picked up Michael Givens and DARIN Ruf. And we'll see what's next. 30 seconds. So next year I'll have a countdown. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. I'll stick around a little bit after after the 6 o'clock. It's now 6 o'clock. Ding, ding. It's over. Over. I've not heard anything maybe Dom's going to Chicago. We'll find out who they gave up for for Michael Givens. Find out momentarily. I hope it's Dom. Really. Okay. Here's the deal. Meant to trade a low-level prospect for the Cubs. This from Joel Sherman. Meant to trade a low-level prospect for the Cubs. And Michael Givens, who reunites with old Orioles manager Buck Showalter. Another Buck guy. So he has trust in him. That's a good thing. We like guys that come in here. Wow, here's a big trade. This is Mark Feinsand. The Royals have traded Whit Merrifield. Holy crap. Where did he go? Wasn't expecting him to get traded. Oh, wow. Where's he going? Where is he on my paper here? That's a pretty big trade. That's surprising. Wasn't expecting that. Wow, I wonder where he's going. To the Yankees? He's going to the Yankees. He's not going to the Yankees, is he? Where's he going to play? Wow, that's a big trade. Merrifield? And he's had such a terrible season. Find out where he goes. We'll find out in the next few minutes. Please like this video if you haven't already, and subscribe. So yeah, people are nuts. There's that guy in this comment. Now, please like this video on the wall. We'll see what the hell's going on here. Whitfield got traded to the Blue Jays. Wow. Merrifield got traded to the Blue Jays. That's a massive trade. Wow. So he went to the Blue Jays. You see, okay. I did write it down. Did not see this. This I didn't see coming. Merrifield went to the Jays. Wow. Well, we're going to find out. We'll find out as we go along here in this few minutes. Find out very shortly. Let's see. Yeah, so the Mets are still working on another reliever, so just be patient. Of course, please, I'm a little quiet and tired right now, but No, there's going to be some more trades. There'll be some trades announced between now and the next few minutes. Just be patient. We already had a trade announced after 6 o'clock. Now it's with Merrifield. You should have enough charge on the computer. Computer's getting awfully low. Now I've got another hour. So, yeah. Let's have one more trade to come down the pipe. Be patient. Be patient. Well, I want to see the Mets get a lefty. That's the one thing I want to see the Mets get. The Rangers did absolutely nothing. Wow. Rangers not trading Matt Moore. That's a guy you should trade if you're a team. I tell you. The Rangers did absolutely nothing. And spending money and going nowhere fast. I'm going to assume that Contreras did not get traded. I'm going to assume that Contreras didn't get. A lot of guys did not get traded. Surprised. What a bit of a dud of quite frankly, of a trading deadline. Aside from the big guys. JD Martinez did not get traded, it seems. Dom Smith did not get traded yet. Contreras didn't get traded. Happ didn't get traded. Nelson Cruz didn't get traded. We'll see on Chafin. John Peterson didn't get traded. Evaldi didn't get traded. The Rockies did nothing. The White Sox did nothing. The Guardians did nothing. The Guardians and the White Sox, you're in the middle. But you have a shot. The Brewers made fools of themselves. They traded one of their best players. We had a very strange kind of trade deadline for a lot of these Midwest teams. The most surprising is the Jays picked up Whit Merrifield. I guess they figured they can fix him, get him back on the road of being a good hitter again. You're absolutely right. It's just crazy. It's just crazy what happened. With the Guardians and the White Sox. What a disaster. White Sox, my goodness. The White Sox, first of all, they burned the manager. He's a Hall of Fame manager, but he's probably way past his prime. And they didn't do anything. All right. Where's this going? He blocked. Fucking this welcome music. Get out of here. Bots. They must have came back in here and resubscribed again to be a jerk. Get out of here. The hell out of here. Yeah, and the Braves didn't do anything really. Braves did very little. Let's see. Let's see what's going on here. No more Red Sox trades. Wow. The Red Sox. That's from a retweet. Jeff Pazan, not going to be any buzzer beaters from the Chicago Cubs, source says. Wilson Contreras and Happ will remain with the Cubs. Also staying, and here's a bunch of players. Carlos Rodon, Jock Peterson, Martin Perez, I kind of figured that. And Matt Moore. Still awaiting word on the Red Sox trade candidates. Wow. Well, the fact that they were still in the lineup happened. The Cubs are just a disaster. They went from winning the World Series to being back to the Cubs again. Poor management again with them. How's the Blue Jays going to convince Merrifield to get vaccinated? None of my business what he does. I'm just saying. Maybe he'll get vaccinated if he's on a good team. Maybe he wasn't all that interested in the Braves got Marcelo Iglesias. Huh. Yeah, you knew they'd sneak in and do something. They're so weird that the Braves they'll move all these pieces and they'll bring other pieces to replace that. Hopper Brave. I'll post those. Hearing that at 5:59, the Mets sent in paperwork for a huge eliciting trade. We should have info shortly. Oh, okay. We'll see. I knew the Braves would do something sneaky at the last minute, didn't they? Cubs did nothing. The Cubs have become the Cubs again. The Cubs are the Cubs again. The White Sox did nothing. The Guardians did nothing. The Twins made a bad trade with the Orioles. I don't understand the Cubs. The Cubs are so bad, and they're holding on to Contreras and Ian Happ. Contreras is going to leave there. I don't see him resigning there. The only you can get is a draft pick. Stupid. All right. Don't learn your lesson. Don't learn your lesson. Our man, who? And the Rockies did nothing too. Yeah, I don't really. I mean, I'm on Twitter. Don't bother follow me on Twitter. You know, Twitter is just a complete total cesspool. To be honest with you, um, from top to bottom, because a lot of them are bots and a lot of them are just assholes on Twitter. You know, well, the Owlman has been sent off. Has been sent off to the Phantom Zone. And you won't see him again. Yes, skadoosh. Bye bye. So long. A little cranky today. People are very cranky today. They're cranky the last few days. We'll see. But we better get David Peterson up to snuff to getting these lefties out. You know, I don't think the trades are done. Just give it a few more months. See if other things come out. Okay. All right. Anthony DeComo of the Mets did not make any additional trades before the deadline. Darren Ruff and Michael Givens are their acquisitions. Okay. Sherman, big who did not get traded today. JD Martinez, Contreras, Happ, Pablo Lopez, Martin Perez, and Matt Moore. This thing with the JD Martinez, what a disaster the Red Sox are. So Chapin is not coming out. Mets are going to have to figure out who's going to be the lefty in his bullpen. They might have to call some people up. I don't know who the Mets have down in the minor leagues right now. As Pugliese asked, who's better, J.D. Davis or Darren Ruf? Ruf is. I'll tell you, the Mets are very like hell bent on not moving any of their prospects, which is a change from what they've done in the past. Swagenberg, give me a break. Let him. We watched J.D. Davis for how many years? The guy can't hit good pitch. Let him go. Just let it go. So that's it. So that's it for me. And it for the Mets for tonight. 8 hours, 8-hour live stream would be crazy. I don't know if I'm doing this again. Abba Grave. Would you give the Giants 3 prospects and Davis for Ruff? They didn't give up big prospects for Ruff. So Pookie's been a terrible major league pitcher, and Davis has been terrible. I know. I mean, it's typical. Isn't it typical? Everybody wanted Davis out, and then he's going to come back. Come back. JD, come back. They finally get rid of the guy, and everybody wants to keep him. Come back. Don't go. I'm sorry. Yeah, they're going to have to figure out something within the organization to bring in a lefty. You know. Yeah, I mean, you can't give up one of the Mets' top 5 prospects. You can't do that. And exactly, that son of a bitch is still here. Dom is still here. You believe that? I can't imagine him playing for this team now. With these all the moves they've made, he's obsolete now. He's going to be in the minor leagues. He's not a major league player right now, anyway. So it also tells you that there wasn't much of a market for him. They'll probably have to non-tender him a contract after the season. Oh well, that might be for the best. Let him go somewhere else. Some team will pick him up. That's probably what they'll do. Mike Doherty's upsetting trade deadline. I wouldn't go that far. That's a 28 games over 500. The lefty was the bigger deal, to be honest with you. Givens is pretty good, and Buck knows him. So, well, end of the live stream. I'm tired. I got to get out of here. That's shit to do. So, thank you all for coming by. We're going to end the live stream. Thank you all for watching all day. I don't think I'm ever doing this again. And if I do, I better get some guests on here. Have a good night. Thank you.